Well, because it's Halloween, I wanted to come in here with you and share one of my favorite stories. Can we do that?
Yes.
All right. And the story that I want to share with you is Broom on the
I heard
Broom.
the movie.
Have you? All right. Well, we get to enjoy the story today, okay? Now, listen. Before we enjoy the story, and this really good story has got some really good words in it. And there's some I want you to listen for, and then we're going to talk about them after we finish, okay?
Okay.
One of the words from the story that I want you to listen for is the word wailed. Can you read that word with me, please?
Wailed.
All right, now let's take a look at it. What are the letters in wailed?
W-A-I-L-E-D.
Read the word with me again.
Wailed.
Now, as I'm reading, when you hear this word, just give me a thumbs up, okay? And after we finish the story, we're going to talk about it and learn what it means, okay? What's the first word I want you to listen for?
Wailed.
What are you going to do when you hear it?
Put a thumbs up.
You don't have to say anything. You just give me a thumbs up.
Can I just do it like this?
Here's another good word I want you to listen for. This word is magnificent. Wow, can you read it with me?
Magnificent.
Good job. What's the letters in magnificent?
M-A-G-N-I-F-I-C-E-N-T.
Read the word with me.
Magnificent.
And when you hear that word in the story, show me what you're going to do. And then we'll talk about it, okay?
Okay.
One more good word, and that word is clambered. Read it with me.
Clambered.
All right, what are the letters in clambered? C-L-A-M-B-E-R-E-D. Read the word.
Clambered.
If you hear it, you're going to give me a thumbs up, all right? Are you ready to enjoy a good story?
Yes.
Oh, good. All right. Broom on the Broom. Now listen, the author of our story is Julia Donaldson. She's the person who wrote it, okay? And the illustrator is Axel Scheffler. He's the person who drew the pictures. So let's find out what happens.
That kind of sounds like axe.
Okay. Broom on the Broom. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black, and a long ginger hair in a braid down her back. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat. When the wind blew so wildly, it blew off her hat. Down, cried the witch, and they flew down to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then, out of the bushes, on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with the hat in his jaws. Where's your jaws? Where's your jaws? He dropped it politely and then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I am a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on.
Clambered.
The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the fields and the forest they flew. The dog wagged its tail, and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud and held on to her hat, but away blew the bow from her braid, just like that. Oh my goodness. First she lost her, and now she's lost her bow. Goodness gracious.
I think she's going to lose her cauldron next.
You think so?
No, it's too heavy to lose.
Down! Cried the witch, and they flew down to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then, out from a tree, with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with the bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low, then said, as the witch tied her braid in the bow, I am a bird as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Yes, cried the witch. So the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped her broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone.
There's a cow. There's a cow. Why is there a cow? Okay. Grapes. My grapes in my apple.
So first she lost her, and then she lost her bow. You said you think she might lose her cauldron next. What else? What else? Her black pot. What else do you think she might lose next?
Her wand. I know.
Oh, her wand. Okay. What else might she lose?
The broom.
The broom, maybe? You want to find out?
No. Yeah. Her wand.
Maybe her wand? Let's see. Over the reeds and the rivers they flew. The birds shrieked with glee, and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. Down! Cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. Oh dear. She lost her hat, she lost her bow, and now she's lost her wand. She is having a rough day.
I watched the movie, so I know it's gonna happen. So do I.
Don't tell, okay?
I haven't seen it. I know anyone what happened.
Then, all of a sudden, from out of a pond, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely and then said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand on the fold of her cloak, I am a frog as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me? What do you think the witch said? Think so? Yes, said the witch. So the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick. Help me out. And whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and the mountains they flew. The frog jumped for joy and what? What do you think's gonna happen?
The frog is gonna fly out the
You
broomstick.
think? The frog jumped for joy and, oh no, the broom snapped in two. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog. Down they went tumbling into a bog.
Told you.
The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud. Whoa, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud.
Probably lion.
A lion?
No, I know what it's gonna be. I'm not gonna tell
A
him.
tiger?
Thunder.
Thunder?
Moon. Dragon.
A dragon? Let's find out. I am a dragon, as mean as can be. A witch with French fries tastes delicious to me. No! Cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. Help! Cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew near with a glint in his eyes and said, just this once, I'll have witch with no fries.
I know what's gonna happen next.
But just as he planned to begin his feast, from out of a ditch rose a horrible beast. It was tall, dark, and sticky, and feathered, and furred. It had 4 frightful heads, and it had wings like a bird. And its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yowl, and a growl, and a croak, and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch, and it said to the dragon, buzz off, that's my witch. Look at that terrible, horrible, awful monster. What do you notice?
It's not a monster.
It's not a monster?
Yeah, it is. It's the animals. It's the animals.
It's the animals? Look real close, guys. Who's that right there?
Frog.
And who's that?
Bird.
And who's that?
Cat. They was failed.
The dragon drew back. Whoa, and started to shake. I'm sorry, he sputtered. I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly. And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. They scared him off, didn't they?
Yeah.
How about that?
I knew that was going to happen.
Then down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog. Down climbed the cat, and whew, said the dog. And thank you, oh thank you, the grateful witch cried. Without you, I'd be in that dragon's insides.
I know what's going to happen.
Then she filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, find something, everyone, throw something in. So the frog found a lily, and
The cat.
let's see, and the cat found a comb, and the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. And they threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well. And while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoo. And out rose
A new broom.
a new broom. What else could it be?
A new coin.
A new wand?
A new cauldron.
A new cauldron. And out rose a truly magnificent broom. Oh wow, take a look at that.
The froggy even has his own bag.
Wow.
And the dog has the same. He has his own bag.
It had seats for the witch and the cat and the dog, a nest for the bird, and look, a pool for the frog. Yes, cried the witch. And they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick. Help me, please. And whoosh, they were gone.
But does it have seatbelts? Yes, it has seatbelts. Yes,
I believe it does.
It does.
And that's the end of our story.
Oh no. That's it. The cartoon fell too.
Okay, now listen, this was a make-believe story, right? It was a fiction story. But even though it's make-believe, we can learn a lesson or two from this story. Did anybody pick up on a lesson that we might could learn from listening? Alex, what do you think about this story? What could we learn from it?
That some things can break.
Some things can break, that's true. What else can we learn?
That you need to hold on to your stuff when you're flying.
Absolutely. Hang on to your things so we don't lose them. That's right.
Unless you're in an
CJ,
airplane.
what do you think we could learn from the story?
If the broom falls, then it'll break.
Okay, so we need to take care of our things, right?
Me.
Draven, what do you think we could learn from the story?
I always make sure that you don't fall out of the broomstick. A broom.
Okay.
Or
right.
fall out of a vehicle.
Okay, well listen, let me ask you something. How was the witch, how did she act towards the cat and the dog and the bird and the frogs on
She
the
was kind.
She was kind to them, wasn't she? She showed kindness because she let them ride on her broom, right? So she was kind. Well, guys, she kind of helped them out and showed them kindness, and then what did her friends do for her?
Help her out.
They did, didn't they? When
helped
she
her out.
needed help, they helped her out. So you think maybe one of the lessons we can learn is if we're kind to others, they'll be kind to us? Yeah, I think that's a good lesson. And let me ask you this. Go back to this picture. Remember how they all worked, they were all together, they were the monster?
Yes.
If that frog had been by itself, could it have scared the dragon away?
No.
If the bird had been by itself, would it have scared the dragon away?
No.
What if the cat had been by itself? Could it have done it by itself?
Yes.
You think the cat could have scared the dragon away all by itself?
Yeah. No,
I don't know.
It could scratch you.
Well, it could. What about the dog all by itself? Could it have scared that big old dragon? Might. But you know what? They worked together, and what happened when they worked together? You got that right. They scared that old dragon away, didn't they?
Yes.
So you know what? One of the things that I think we can learn is when we work together, it's always better, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Now, slow that still. I had some really good listeners because you heard the words. I saw the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Let's go back and let's talk about these words for just a minute because they're so good. One of the words that I asked you to listen for was the word wailed. Okay? Wailed. Well, in the story it said, but how the witch wailed and how the cat spat when the wind blew so wildly it blew off the hat. Guys, the witch didn't just cry a little bit because she lost her hat. She cried loud and she cried hard because she lost her hat. Can you tell me what wailed might sound like?
Ew.
Let me hear you. How would a wail sound? Not just a, but a, yeah, there we go. A loud cry, a high-pitched cry, because she was so upset. Listen to this. The boy wailed when he fell and broke his arm. Not just a little cry, but a what? A big cry. So who can try to use the word wailed in a sentence? Wailed. Raise your hand, please. Wailed. All right, Draven, wailed.
I wailed because I forgot my mask at paper on the couch.
Oh, so it upset you, didn't it?
Yeah.
He said he wailed because he forgot his mask on
Yeah.
the couch at the camper. It upset you, not just a little cry, but a big cry.
Because I cried a very long time.
Did you? What was the word?
Well.
So maybe when we're talking and maybe when we're writing, instead of using the word cried, we could use the word wailed. Yeah, a big, loud, hard cry. Another word that I asked you to listen for was this big, long word. Do you remember what this big, long word was? Magnificent. Let's read it again together. Magnificent. And in the story, it said, a truly magnificent broom. Well, guys, magnificent means it wasn't just good. It was really good. It was excellent. It was spectacular. It was fantastic. So magnificent is better than good, okay? The sunset was magnificent. It wasn't just kind of pretty. It was super pretty. That's right. Magnificent. Lilith, can you use the word magnificent in a sentence? Really good. But who can use it in a sentence for you? Magnificent. Alex, you try it. Magnificent.
It was a magnificent sun.
It was a magnificent sun. Not just a pretty sun, but a magnificent. So guys, maybe when we're speaking and when we're writing, we're not just going to say something was good or great. We can say that it was
magnificent.
Yes. And then there was one more word I asked you to listen for, and that was the word clambered. Clambered. All right. In the story, it said, I am a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. So the dog clambered onto the broomstick. What do you think that means?
I don't know. He climbed on the broom.
That's right. It means that he climbed on. But when we clambered, it's like it's a hard climb. It was difficult to do, okay? So maybe I clambered up the rocks. I had a hard time doing it. I climbed up the rocks. I clambered up the rocks. A difficult climb. Maybe where you have to use both hands and feet. He must have had to use both of his paws to clamber up onto that broomstick. You want to try to use it in a sentence? Clambered.
Clamber. Clamber means that you can have a sentence with it. Like, I clambered onto a rock and it was hard.
Okay, I clambered onto a rock. What else might you have clambered on, Superman?
His name is Clambered.
Okay, say that again now.
His name is Clambered.
Well, I don't think a person's name would be clambered, but like maybe I clambered onto the trampoline. I had a hard time climbing up on the trampoline,
I do
so
that
I clambered up on the
I
trampoline.
clamber on one.
Avery, can you think of a sentence using the word clambered?
I clambered on the top of the tree.
I clambered up to the top of the tree. That's a good sentence right there. You guys, you've been such good listeners, and I appreciate it so much. This is what I want to challenge you to do, okay? Challenge means I want you to try to do this.
Yeah.
When you speak, when you talk to one another, and when you go home and talk to your family, and then if you have the chance to write, I want you to try to use the word, what was this word?
Clambered.
Instead of climbed, let's try to use the word clambered. And I want you to try to use, do you remember this word?
Magnificent.
Yes, let's use the word magnificent. Not just good, not just kind of good, not just great, but And I want you to try to use the word, what was this one? Not just a little cry, but a big cry. Wailed. Okay?